What's up, Royal Roots family? So, some things have happened. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the progress from the garden. This is not going to be a long video because I really don't even want to edit it because I don't know when I would have time to. So I'm going to shoot and then upload, and you'll just get what you get. So, what I have done here, these beds still need to get topped off. I just wanted to get the trellis in so I can kind of see what I'm working with. So here is something that I learned when I worked on this bed. I did not want this to go in the middle of the bed, but I had already put the braces up and I didn't feel like taking the braces out. So that's where the trellis ended up. On this side, I hadn't put the brace up yet, so I just kind of stuck it through the trellis. But it's in the middle. So I'm trying to decide exactly what I'm going to do with this trellis. It was originally going to be the tomato beds, which is why I put them up first, because the tomato plants are ready. However, now I'm thinking that might not be the tomato beds, that these two might be the tomato beds. But what I plan on doing is, let me see if I can get my dirty finger in here. Okay, right here to here is going to be trellis, and then on this side, here to here. So there'll be two trellises side by side connecting these two beds. So I think that would be a lot better for the tomato beds. But I don't even have these finished. Like, I don't know if you can see, they aren't even bolted completely together. I still have to finish putting the screws in these two beds. And then I got to fill them up. So let's just talk about what I did to halfway fill these up, and what I learned with that I'm going to do different with the other ones. So under here is some clean out from the chickens. So I took all of that top, probably about 2 inches off the top of the chicken area, and put it at the bottom of this on top of the cardboard. Then I went back and got some of those wood chips from the front and layered the wood chips on top of that. Then I layered the next layer of compost. So that's probably about only 4 inches of stuff that I want to break down. I probably should do with those beds, I should probably go ahead. This is a 17-inch. These are 17 inches. So I should probably go ahead and fill up the first 8 inches or so of wood chips and vegetable scraps maybe, and the chicken clean out and stuff like that, so that I can fill up this space, because this bag soil is expensive. And I did put 4 bags of composted cow manure that I got in a bag from the nursery, and it didn't do much of anything. So next time I'm going to give more. I'll probably fill up about this much that's already in here now of just the stuff that I can just fill it up with. I might even take some of that wood over there. I have way more from when they cut down trees that I could just stick at the bottom of the bed. So that's what I'm going to do different. These have to get topped off, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I am now going to shift my focus to these 2 beds, because these 2 are going to probably get planted next with the tomatoes. Now let's just talk about what we did here. I need to come back and mulch this bed, but I literally just finished this day before yesterday, and then I had to work yesterday, so I didn't get to it. But my spacing is terrible. Let me just say, I am not teaching anything right now. This is a year of experiments. So please understand that my spacing is not correct in these beds at all. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to let them all mature as close as they are. The thing about spacing is I could probably grow them this close together, but I will have to feed the soil a whole lot more. in order for that to happen. Because they're so close together, they are going to spin this soil way faster. It's just going to be, all the nutrients are going to be sucked up. So I will have to fertilize a lot more if I do decide to keep them this close together. But I had to put them in the ground because they were turning yellow, and I was going to lose them. So that is my disclaimer. Now I'm going to turn the camera back around. So what we have is broccoli and cauliflower. And then we move over to mustards. So purple mustards and then some green mustards over there. This is a row of lettuce. This is bok choy. And then we have spinach. And this is just a kale plant that I left from the fall that did not go to seed. And same thing with the Swiss chard. They didn't go to seed, so I left them. Over here, again, the spacing is not correct. These are cabbage. I still have the celery from the fall that did not die, so I'm going to let that stick around. A head of cabbage that is still coming to a head, I'm going to let that stick around. And then I planted some more cabbage right here. Now, here is Brussels sprouts. I did space those out a little bit more because they get very big. As far as the green leaves get extremely big. So I didn't want to, I wanted to see if I can get some Brussels sprouts this year. All right, let's come over to the asparagus. So the asparagus all died back. Didn't die. They died back over the winter. I'm going to see if you can see this. These are all new asparagus shoots coming up right now. Over there is my garlic. And onions. Now, I cut these all the way down. They got a really nice haircut maybe about 3 weeks ago, and they are already growing back up. I am probably going to cut them again right before the spring gardening season really kicks off, and then I'm going to leave them alone and fertilize them when as needed. So that's a little update. I said this video wasn't going to be very long. It's probably a little longer than I expected it to be originally, but I just wanted to kind of, I don't think I showed you this, and I will show you this part as well really quick. So I keep talking about this fire pit that I am wanting so bad, and now it's starting to get hot, or it's going to start getting hot, and I probably won't use the fire pit itself, but I have marked off the space, and I am going to see what I can do. I haven't decided if I'm going to do River Rock or what was the other one? I can't think of it. But that is what is going to go down. I'm going to probably put some weed barrier around, leaving a circle in the middle, and then I'm going to put some stones around the middle, and then I have a fire pit that I purchased that I'm going to put together. And the shed is still being worked on. Electricity is not in there yet. I'm waiting on a few inspections, and then for my power company to come out and drop that meter in there. The drywall is still not complete yet. And that is all stressful to me because I really wanted to be working in there this month. I said by April, and we are in April. So I'm gonna say hopefully by May. We'll see. But that, I keep on forgetting things. I also fertilized my little trees. So these are dwarf apple trees. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm starting my little orchard, small orchard right here. And it was meant to be originally I was going to put my greenhouse over here. I have since changed my mind just because of the direction of the sun that I was able to learn. So one thing I will go ahead and teach is when you buy a property, if you are like me, you're so excited to get started, right away. You see the sun and its path when you come and look at the house, depending on the season. You're like, this is the perfect place for my garden. I would suggest before making any permanent plans, you live in the house for a year. The reason I say that is because my son moved. It was when I came and looked at the house, the sun was like directly over my backyard. It was amazing, and I picked this area for my garden. Now, luckily, this is still a good area for my garden. However, in the fall, a lot of this is shaded. A lot of it is shaded. Like these beds right here will probably not get very much sun. So anything I plant in the fall is going to have to go in those back 2 beds. And then I'm going to do some things in the back of the garden. I'm going to add some more garden space next year. And that's where, because the sun gets, it's shaded right here. The other thing was I had planned on putting the greenhouse right there. And that was like going to kind of be an entrance into the garden. And the sun gets shaded right there. So that doesn't make sense to have a greenhouse right there. The sun actually is perfect where my chickens are. So the new plan is to move the chickens and put the greenhouse right there, which might not be a bad thing. I am doing some things with this backyard that is going to be kind of a hangout spot, and I don't want to have the chickens right there if we're hanging out, you know, with the fire pit right here and a nice deck, and maybe the swing set for the kids and stuff. So the chickens need to be pushed back. So they'll probably go further back into the property. My property goes a little bit further back. And that's okay. I just haven't gotten to that part yet. So that is something that I will probably try to do this summer. If not, definitely in the fall. And then we will talk about greenhouse building. I don't think I'm going to have the greenhouse for the fall. I kept saying that I wanted to, but with all the projects that I have going on, it's just not realistic at this point. But who knows? God may, you know, move some things around and it might work out. But for right now, the plan is to put the greenhouse right there for next garden season. And then at first I was going to go and get one of those prefab greenhouses. And I'm glad I will, by me being patient and waiting, I'm probably going to be able to get my window greenhouse built. So that's exciting. But anyways, this short video turned into a long video, but I hope it was fun to watch. And until next time, be blessed.